We're officially getting into the start of the holiday season, which means it's time to start working on my December daily album. Today, I am working on a few foundation pages, and this year I decided to keep it a little more simple than what I created last year. So to start off, I already pre-cut this 7.5 by 7.5 piece of cardstock, and I also decorated it with patterned paper from the Simple Stories Christmas Cottage collection, which I also showed in my last haul video. In fact, everything I'm using, including the stickers, ephemera packs, and anything else, is from that collection. First, I just pre-cut everything out and also cut out a white rectangle for a 6x4 inch photo. Here's a quick tip for all of you guys. If you really want to make your pages pop, leave a little border along the edges. You can see on the 6x4 photo area I did a black border, and on the main page I left a white border around everything. And you may have noticed at the bottom there's a bit of white that's not covered, but that's because I was using some scrap paper and wasn't able to cover it all the way, but I will find a way to hide that area later on. The main pattern paper is this beautiful dark blue with pink stars. I was actually inspired by all the ski and sledding elements in the ephemera packs, and that is what this first foundation page is going to be based around. And to complement the pink stars in the background, I'm just pulling out any pink ski gear that I can find. Every single winter I tell myself that I'm going to go skiing, and I never do, but I'm thinking since I'm dedicating an entire page in this album just to skiing, it may just motivate me enough to go. That way I can take a cute photo and complete the layout. I also just love the little ski tickets and the pink sled that I'll be using. Those are two of my favorite pieces. And I decided to add in a pink poinsettia flower to keep up with the color scheme. Now I needed a way to cover the bottom half since the starry pattern paper I used was too short. I thought it would be cute to add some more color if I did a strip of a different pattern paper at the bottom. In the 6x8 paper pack, I loved this pink pattern, again with the light pink color scheme, and decided to add it to my layout page. All I'm doing is cutting it down to a few inches. I really didn't measure it much, but I just made it fit the width correctly. And now that it is the correct size, I wanted to give it some more detail. I had this paper punch that is really pretty. I think it's from Martha Stewart brand. All I did was go around the top edge, and it gave the paper a really elegant scalloped look. You can see I'm punching it from the back side to make sure I get each punch lined up evenly. Now I'm just going over it with some scissors to cut off any extra pieces. I think that will do the trick, and I'm going to go ahead and tape it down to the bottom with some double-sided adhesive. Now is the fun part, placing all the ephemera pieces where I want them to go. I had a hard time fitting everything I wanted on there without making it look clustered, so I ended up not using all the pieces, but it did turn out really nice in the end. Last year for my December daily album, I made each layout on the very same day I was documenting for, which was fine last year, but this year I knew I'd be much more busy, so I wanted to get a head start. I really enjoy making these more simple layouts and not using any page protectors because I feel like they get in the way sometimes. I got a lot of inspiration for this year's album off of Pinterest and just seeing other people's more simple layout ideas, which motivated me to focus more on the photograph and the story for each day than worry too much about the page layout itself. And I'm having so much fun making this, which is essentially the whole point of making a scrapbook album, is just having fun and being creative. Because I haven't actually taken any pictures for this album yet and I'm leaving the photo area blank, I'm making sure not to glue anything directly where the photo will go. So the top part of the skis I didn't glue down, that way it just makes it easier to place a photo there in the future. This is the first foundation page I created, and I think it turned out really beautifully. Now on to layout number 2, I wanted to incorporate some cut files and found this adorable snowflake one on Etsy. I can link it in my description box. I just cut it out with my Cricut and was really careful pulling it off of the mat to not rip anything. We do get snow where I'm from, so I wanted to make a page dedicated to a future snow day. I already pre-cut the page like last time and used this adorable patterned paper from the same collection that says Burr all over it. I thought it would be really cute to place the cut file behind the photo area, and the photo I cut down to be 4 by 4 inches. I really wanted to make the snowflakes stand out against the patterned paper, therefore I just took some black ink, and I am not at all a professional at stamping or inking anything, but I just took the black ink and a tissue and started wiping the ink behind where I wanted the snowflake cut file to go. I made sure not to make it look too dark, just enough to make it stand out. Once that looked good, I went ahead and glued down the cut file to the paper. And I placed the 4 by 4 photo card on top of the snowflakes. That looks good already, but I wanted to add some extra cuteness. One of my favorite parts about this collection are all the little animals. I adore this bear wearing a scarf and wanted to put him in the corner. And I decided to add a present that he can hold. I liked the red present, which added a little more contrast against all the blue. Finally, I'm just gluing those two elements down, and that is it. This was super simple and quick to do, and I just love how it turned out. For layout number 3, I knew I wanted to use this sweet snowman paper. I went ahead and glued everything down to save some time. This layout is inspired by a layout that I saw on Pinterest where someone did a clothesline with bathing suits, I think, on it for summertime. I can't remember who created it, but if I can find it again, I'll link it below. It was just so cute and creative. And since this collection has a lot of sweaters and mittens, I wanted to do something similar. I'm taking this twine I have and I'm just tying knots on both ends to give it a complete look. Now, I'm not sure who would actually be hanging clothes out to dry in the winter since it is so cold. Not sure that's very smart unless you live in a warmer climate. Once I have the twine glued on, I am taking these mini clips that I got at Hobby Lobby last year and clipping on the apparel. I just love the sweaters and the hat. I think they are too cute. I'm not even going to glue them on directly because the clips hold them on well enough that I don't think that they'll fall off. Last thing, I wanted to add this gold bow for some detail at the bottom, and that was it for my third foundation page. Super simple and one of my favorites. For the last page I filmed, I wanted to make it all about Christmas trees since that is such an integral part of Christmas. I used this fun pattern with all different types of Christmas trees and also taped down the spot for the photo. One of my favorite pieces in the sticker collection is this red truck carrying a tree. There's something about red trucks during Christmas that is just so festive and fun. I'll put this on the bottom left. And there's a ton of cute Christmas tree ephemera pieces I would like to use, but I don't want it to look too crowded, so instead I'm going with this nice journaling piece. Also in this set of brads was this red and white plaid tag, which if you notice matches the border of the photo area. Anytime I can add correlating elements, I try to do so just to make it look a little more complete. And just to add a little something extra, I used foam adhesive and taped down this mini tree at the bottom. Next, I added a little sticker saying that reads "Season of Joy," and I love the pop of red that it brings. I also wanted to add some ribbon to the tiny tag at the top. I wanted to loop the ribbon through the hole, but it was a little difficult pulling it through, so I had to get something to poke it in there. It took a minute or two, but I finally got it in, and after I just did a simple knot to make it easy. And that's it for this layout. This is how the Christmas tree layout looks. I absolutely cannot wait to start putting in pictures. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel to see more December daily inspiration. I cannot wait for Christmas and I'm so excited to put this album together. Thanks for watching.